Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM Ishiga Boulanger. Up next, we're going to be talking about the Baltimore Ravens 2023 schedule. We're going to be talking about matchups. We're going to be talking about win-losses, and we're going to be talking about an overall record. Of course, understand this is just a projection. It's super, super early. Matter of fact, you may say way too early, but of course, we are in that part of the season where there's not a lot going to be happening. So we got to have fun with these topics and just enjoy this ride until the season starts. So do me a quick favor, hit like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can get updates when we upload new content. Let's go. So by now you've all seen the schedule be released. You've seen week-to-week matchups. You've seen times. You've seen broadcasting. You've seen location. And so I'm sure you all have been figuring out, win-loss records and that kind of thing. And that's no different from us. The difference is we're going to break the season into quarters, and we're going to do 4 videos. One video will cover 5 games where we talk about each matchup. It won't be a super in-depth video. In fact, we're just going to brush the surface to kind of cover each game and come out with an overall score, that kind of thing. We won't deal with who's going to win the division right now. We will actually do a whole video later in the off season to cover that topic. But with no further ado, let me get my screen shared with you guys. We're going to cover these first 4 games. So just remember, this is the first of 4 videos covering the schedule. And by all means, definitely want to hear your takes on each game. And then just as we travel along together, want you guys to also be putting your predictions in per the video. All right. So Ravens 2023, I have them coming out with a 12-5 record. Now, don't get upset just yet. I told you I'm going to break it all down in quarters, game by game, tell you how we come out with a 12-5 record. So let's look at the first 4 games. So the first 4 games, so we open the season at home against the Houston Texans. 1 p.m. start, of course, on the East Coast. And so I believe this is a win. Okay. I think we open up the season at home. Crowd is hype, new look offense. Everybody's ready to go. I believe that we should come into this season as healthy as we've been in a long time. Ronnie Stanley has had another year to recover, get healthy. J.K. Gus have had a year to recover. Lamar would have had, I think he went out in November, I believe. So he would have had December plus 8 months. So he would have had 9 months to get healthy. So I think we come out and we're ready to go. And I forgot about Odell. I think Odell, basically 2 years by the time he gets back on the field. And so I think that we come out healthy, excited, and I think we win this game in big fashion. I'm going to even say this may be one of those 40-point games that we put up. I think this game will set the tone for the first quarter, and I think we win against the Houston Texans at home in a landslide. Don't have a score prediction. We'll do that a little later when we talk about division winners and that kind of thing. So I think we start the season off 1-0 against the Houston Texans, and primarily, Houston is a franchise who is rebuilding. Of course, they drafted their franchise quarterback, C.J. Stroud. They're going to have a lot of young pieces, and so I just think that they won't be ready to endure what we bring to the table at the season's onset. Besides that, they have a brand new head coach, which I think he'll certainly have that defense ready to go. I think they'll play tough, but I think that we will be too much for them to handle. And again, win in a landslide. So we're 1-0. I think that we go to the Bengals in week 2, division rival. We know them, but I'm not sure if they really know us at this point. Of course, not a lot of game tape is going to be out there on us, just 1 week's worth. And I think that they may come in expecting maybe a traditional Ravens team. I think that this may be kind of a high scoring affair, somewhere in the high 20s or low 30s. That is not a weather report. That means, that 28-point marker, 31, 32-point marker, somewhere in there. But I think we win on a Justin Tucker field goal. The Bengals is a team that we have played tough consistently. Other than the season where everybody who was anybody got hurt, and they put big points up, and Joe Burrow threw for over 500 yards on the defense, so on and so forth. We've actually, after that game, we played them pretty tough, even down to the 3 games this past year. We won 1, lost 2, but the 2 that we did lose were super close. And in fact, just one of the most fluky plays probably in Ravens history, where we fumble going in to the end zone somewhere between the 3 and the 1 yard line, and then Sam Hubbard takes it 99 yards or something like that for a touchdown. That really is what cost us that game. So I think the tough play against them continues. I think we go into Cincinnati and we beat them in a high scoring affair. And another thing that kind of leans in our favor is that the Bengals lost their both their starting safeties. And I know they brought in some new pieces, but you can't really lose both your safeties and expect new guys to come in and pick up the defense, even with training camp and off-season workouts and that kind of thing. You can't expect them to pick that up that quickly. And so I think that the Bengals will suffer in the middle a little bit, at least early, because practice scheme and game scheme sometimes can be 2 different things. And so I think that we come out on top in Cincinnati, and so now we're 2-0 at this point. Then we go back home to play the Indianapolis Colts. Now, which Colts team we play, I'm not sure. I don't know if this is going to be the Anthony Richardson version, or if this will be the Gardner Minshew version. I know that they have a good young coach, meaning in the offensive scheme mindset. We watched some nice things he did with Jalen Hurts. I think he'll bring that same kind of acumen to Indianapolis. But I'm not sure if by week 3 offensively, if they are ready to go yet. I think that if Anthony Richardson is starting, he brings a whole different element to an offense. He has elite speed for a quarterback, size and power, has a big arm, and he could certainly make life difficult for the Baltimore Ravens defense if he's given time to throw the ball down the field and, have easy reads. But because he is a rookie, I think we overwhelm him with scheme. I think that we have an ability to show some deception defensively. I think we get a couple of picks against Anthony Richardson and probably 3 or 4 sacks. And I think we win this game pulling away in the second half, because again, no team will have a read on us offensively. And I think we're going to be diverse enough to have a week-to-week game plan and maybe not show the same stuff every single week. And so I don't think the Indianapolis Colts in week 3 are going to be ready to really compete. And what I mean by compete, not that they won't be ready to go out and get on the field and tough it out. I'm saying compete as in knowing who they are, knowing what they're going to bring to the table week to week. That's what I mean by compete in that aspect. And so I think we, again, pull away from Indianapolis in this game, second half, probably third or fourth quarter, and we win pretty easy. I believe we could even see Lamar Jackson sit this game out the last couple of drives quite possibly this could be another 40-point campaign for the Baltimore Ravens, and we go 3-0. Then we go down to the Cleveland Browns. I think this is our loss. That's why I have us going 3-1. Cleveland is one of those teams that has played us tough. No matter who was at quarterback, no matter who was in or out defensively, they have always played us tough. And I think we're not going to have a lot of tape on Cleveland either. Deshaun Watson only played, if I remember correctly, 5 or 6 games last season. So we don't really know what the Cleveland Browns are gonna look like. They added a lot of good pieces in the offseason. And just quite honestly, I think that it'll be a tight game, probably mid to low 20s in score. But I think that we come back down to earth after flying high for 3 weeks straight. But I think that's okay. I think it's good to get our face straightened. After flying high, kind of bring us back down to a level playing field, because, a team can certainly peak too early, put up some big points. Like I said, in week 1, big points, week 3, big points. Bengals, I think it's going to be a high score on the fair we pull out. And so I think we could be flying high, confidence too high, and this is a confidence checker. So I think Cleveland pulls out the win. Don't know if it's a Deshaun Watson late touchdown or if it's a field goal, but I think Cleveland wins this game in Cleveland. And so we're 3-1 overall. We're 1-1 in the division, and but we're still okay. Okay. So I think we're 3-1. Probably the rest of the division is probably around that same record. And some takeaways from this first 4 games of the schedule. I like the fact that we have 2 division games out of the way. We have 4 left, one home, 1 away. I like that all of these games are AFC games, so to be 3-1 in the AFC puts us in good standing as well. And I like that it's not a lot of long travel. Houston comes to us, so that's not traveling across the country. The Bengals, just a short flight. The Colts, short flight. And then the Browns is also, the Colts are not a short flight. We're at home. And then the Browns, just a short flight to Cleveland. And so I think we can get out of week 4 and, kind of have a reset, a refresh. Do some game planning, look at what went right, what went wrong, and get ready for week 5. So that's my take, man, for the first 4 games. Let me know if you guys agree. Is 3-1 reasonable? Or do you guys have another record in mind? Who do you guys think we beat in these first 4 games? Also, another thing that I like is that we have 2 of our division road games out of the way. So really, we only have 1 left, which will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I really, really like that. All right. So listen, I'm your guy Boulanger. This is the GM, and I'm out.